I know you talk about how our thoughts can make us sick. So if our thoughts can make us sick, they can make us well. And I really want you to help hammer that home for people.
The amount of emotion that comes with the thought, because every time you have a thought, you make a chemical, right? If you have a good thought, you have a chemical that makes you feel good. You have an arousing thought that causes you to feel angry. Short term, that's okay. But the long-term effects of that keeps knocking the brain and body out of balance. So when we turn on that primitive nervous system called the fight or flight nervous system, we're mobilizing enormous amounts of energy in our body's resources that we would typically use for healing, digestion, reproduction, whatever, assimilation. We're robbing those systems, and we're saying there's a threat, there's a danger, there's something really, it needs all of your attention in your outer environment, and that arousal causes us to feel fear or any derivative of it, aggression or anger or pain. So when we respond to the environment like that, our body's knocked out of balance because we're mobilizing all that energy. Pupils dilate, respiratory rate goes up, heart rate goes up, digestive juices shut down, blood is sent to the extremities, the body's ready to run, fight, or hide. All organisms in nature can tolerate that short term. If you turn on that stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for disease, because no organism can live in emergency mode without a moment for regeneration or growth and repair. All right, so the arousal for some reason feels good to human beings, and that arousal gives us a rush of energy, and then we need the bad news, we need the problems in our life, we need the poor relationship, we need whatever it is to cause us to feel this kind of arousal.
Because we're addicted to it.
Then they can't feel anything else but anger, fear, pain, suffering, guilt, shame, anxiety, competition, envy, jealousy, insecurity, resentment. Those are all derived from the hormones of stress, and psychology calls those normal human states of consciousness. Those are altered states of consciousness. So it makes sense then that if those emotions make us feel one way because the body is always out of balance, we decided to do an experiment. We took 117 people and we said, listen, we want you to stop feeling those emotions just for 3 times a day for 15 minutes. We're just going to practice feeling a different emotion. Yeah, I know, but I can't feel it. I know you can't feel it now because you're really good at feeling that other stuff. But if we work with you, just work with us. Turns out 10, 15 minutes, become addicted to the life we don't even like. So take it a step further. Then when you think about that life, you produce the same chemistry in your brain and body in the same exact way as if you were actually re-experiencing it. So now the thought is turning on the stress response. And it's a scientific fact that the long-term effects of the hormones of stress push the genetic buttons and create disease. Well, if you can turn on that stress response just by thought alone, then your thoughts can make you sick. So, because you're knocking your brain and body out of balance over and over again and depleting your body's resources that you could be using for healing. And it just turns out the stronger the emotion you feel, the more you pay attention to the person or the problem. And that's our vital life force we're giving to that person or that problem. And the body's actually moving out of balance more and more every time we do that. We're actually draining the body from energy, right? So it makes sense then that when people do this a long time, the gratitude 2 or 3 times a day, their immune system strengthened by 50%. They made the most robust immunoglobulin, immunoglobulin A, which is the primary defense against bacteria and viruses. The body's getting a boost. There's an internal army now. And it turns out that when that occurs, a lot of pain and inflammation goes away and a lot of immune-mediated conditions, from cancer all the way to food allergies and everything in between. So we found out that your thoughts could actually make you well.